Welcome to Comfortable Being Uncomfortable, your place for all things culture, laughter, and interesting topics.
We're still here. We're still fucking here.
You can catch us every Sunday at 12 p.m. going over great topics, including Doc Ronnie Mac's Crazy Say What and the even crazier Confession Letter. Marry and have mixed kids and show up at his doorstep like, Granddad, you think I'm tripping? We also love interacting with our viewers. We also have hard-hitting, great interviews with great people.
Look at my man's face. I want to see how he
Join us as we go on this ride together. Trust us, you won't be disappointed. Comfortable Being Uncomfortable starts in 3, 2, 1.
Yo, here we go. Here we go. What up, and what is up, everybody? Yes, Valentine's Eve. Love is in the air. I say love is in the air. Doc Ronnie Mac is in the. Shut up, y'all. Why y'all be hating on me, bro? Like, y'all be hating on me.
Because my ears are sensitive.
Trent B.
Alrighty then.
I won't.
All right. Was that your? What'd you say?
You caught me in mid taste. That was
Oh, that's what it was. That's what I thought you were trying to get your LL Cool J on. Thought you were trying to get your LL Cool J on. All right, Miss Crystal.
What up?
What's up, Miss Crystal?
Nothing much. You see the tree is down. Finally.
Yeah, about damn time.
Yeah.
About damn time.
The tree is down. Christmas
About damn time.
going on over here.
Oh, okay. Miko, you going on a business interview?
Oh,
I'm going on a business interview and then like something spicy later. I don't know. It's Valentine's Eve, okay?
you got a business trip? That's what's up. I like it.
All right.
You look good. You look good.
So speaking of looking good,
Got that
y'all
blowout
feast
nose,
y'all
boy.
eyes.
Oh.
Feast y'all eyes
queen.
on this right here.
He is the Valentine's Day mascot right now.
Yo, I really don't know what's going on.
She's talking about mascot.
Listen. I think that if y'all gonna do it, I think if you're gonna cheat on the one you love, do it with some style.
Really?
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's your message.
Okay.
We all, the viewers want to know, you got anything under that robe?
I am butt ass naked.
Whoa. All the crickets. The crickets.
He get all that.
Hey, just hit me up after the show. I'll give you my address. Y'all can come through and find out if I got on everything.
Who's y'all? Pause. Who's y'all?
No, I'm talking about the ladies.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Oh.
All right, yeah, I appreciate that. Clarification. We need that. We need that. Anyway, man. So like I said, man, we got people already in the comments, man. People saying no, only Rob. Elijah Jermaine Bowser said sad, single awareness day. Yeah, pretty much, I guess. All right, Virtuous Essence Candle Company, man. Check out Virtuous Essence Candle Company, Etsy.com/shop/Virtuous Essence. Make sure you hit her up, man. Dr. Regina Warren, you got a CBU offer for 5% off. Use the code CBU21. You can go there. And then also, Trent, what time is it?
It's rock bottom.
There it is, man. Rock bottom. Ooh, your mic is terrible. All right,
It's time for a new wireless connection, homie.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah, man. So speaking of, Valentine's Day being on Monday, side chick, side piece, side dude, side whatever day is on Tuesday, and Miko
Yeah.
Reed Collins is doing what? What you doing, Miko?
Hey, listen, y'all come check me out. I am featuring at Busboys and Poets on Side Piece Tuesday. So, come out. You can come out with your main and, y'all can like pretend and role play that y'all side pieces, get it popping. But I'm featuring and I will probably go on about 7:30ish. Tickets are $5. Check me out. Check me out.
Y'all go ahead, check out Miko. Check out Miko. Y'all saw her when she came onto the show. What? What's going on? Why everybody trying to strip today?
Get it, Miko. Get it.
Why everybody trying to strip today? What's going on? What's really going on? All right, yo, man. Look, man.
I'm fully clothed over
You know
here.
what's going on. You know what's going on.
All right, little known Black History facts. This is Black History Month, man. We got to talk about little known Black history. Yeah, Elijah McCoy. Elijah McCoy invented an automatic lubricator for an oil and steam system engines in 1872. So when you hear the term real McCoy, a lot of people can attribute it to Elijah McCoy. So little known Black history fact there for you all.
Okay. Real McCoy.
You know, Ron, I think the funny thing is, man, I actually was looking at an Instagram post today, and there was like a video or whatever, and it was showing like everything that Black people have invented or whatever. Bro, I was shocked, man. There's so much stuff that I didn't even know about. Like, wow, bro.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think there was one I read about some of the patents that Alexander Graham Bell has, or helped him to get that telephone stuff operated. There's somebody that helped him get that done, but I can't remember who it was because I didn't pay attention to it. Anyway,
well, look, I'll say this before I go in. The one thing I didn't know was the toilet. I was like, everybody need to thank they Lucky Charms for a Black man for the toilet. I'm just saying that. Anyway, moving on to some crazy topics that we got, man. It's gonna be a good show. All right, guys. So the first thing we got going on, if you guys have been following any of the news, it doesn't even matter which side of the aisle you on, you'll be seeing that in Canada, the Freedom Convoy starts. It's Canadian truckers, and this is actually spread around the world, but it started in Canada, and they are protesting vaccine mandates. Um, but it's now in France, and there's plans to come to the United States or whatever to do, whatever. But this has been blowing up all over the place. Now I know in Canada they are actually starting to arrest truckers and things like that because apparently they're holding up traffic. And then the French president was like, "Hey, don't even come here." And they immediately put a bunch of barriers and things like that all over France, whatever. So they can't even come. But this has been blowing up, man. It started out in Canada of all places, and now, man, it's everywhere. So what y'all think about that? Actually, Rob, what you think about that? I want to start with you.
So I think real quick, I think they this morning they came out and said there were some arrests made and some trucks already towed to kind of clear up that avenue or whatever, so that way some stuff can get in. But a lot of people, when you talk about people's shipments and stuff like that getting held up, this is stuff that impacts everybody. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Well, that's the whole fucking point, ain't it? I mean, number one, if I were the truckers in France, I wouldn't take anything that the French president said seriously. You ever heard of the Maginot Line? The French put up the Maginot Line, and the Germans blew through that shit in 15 minutes. So as far as putting barriers up, I wouldn't even be concerned about that. That's the first thing. The second thing is that it was holding up traffic and slowing down e-commerce and stuff like that. Because guess what? Your package getting arrived on your doorstep, or going to the supermarket and getting your pack of chicken or whatever it is I've got in the back of my 53-foot trailer is no more important than my fucking rights. And if I'm sitting in a trailer all day, if I'm in a tractor trailer all day by myself, why the hell should I be mandated to get a vaccine when I'm not around any damn body? All I'm doing is driving over the road and delivering stuff. I'm not around people. There's no reason why I should be mandated. Number two, what's his name? The Prime Minister of Canada. This dude's damn near a damn. What's his name again? Trudeau. Trudeau is like damn near a dictator. He doesn't even listen to his people. These people are crying out like, "Come on, man! Like, we're trying to get your attention. You need to lift these mandates and all this dumb." Canada was damn. You remember back during 2020 when they first started this and went into 2021. Canada locked the fucking borders and wouldn't let anybody in or out of that. They were the first country to do it. You know what I mean? Like, they are like absolutely
that's a dictator move.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a dictator move, but I think that he jumped the gun. He jumped the gun, and his people are against it. Since when do politicians do what the fuck they want? That's what I want to know. I want to know what
we just saw 4 years ago of that.
What?
We just saw 4 years of that, Rob. I mean,
and we went through 8 years of that prior to the 4 years that you're referring to.
Okay.
Oh, I have a pen and a
cell phone.
You don't remember that?
That's
convenient. Are we all going to talk at the same time, or am I going to finish my talk? Listen, I have a pen and a cell phone. That doesn't sound familiar, though, but you'll remember whatever Donald Trump said. So back to what I was saying. Since when do governments do what the fuck they want as opposed to listening to the people that put them in office?
Last, 4 years ago. Go ahead, Miko.
I was thinking, I don't know if you guys saw Bill Maher, his comment on this. And he took a different spin. He basically said something about it's more because of capitalism with the elitists versus just the whole mandate for the vaccine. It's more about truckers who can't work at home, who are being forced to get vaccinated to deliver it to those who can work at home. So it's a greater picture. And I kind of, Bill Maher is a little unhinged, but from my perspective, I like him, but I believe what he's saying right now. I do believe it's a greater picture. It is more about capitalism and elitism and control of, us. We're not all into this together like the U.S. Motto always says. We're not, because you're forcing people who can't stay at home to work to do something that they need to put in their bodies that they don't want. And I believe in the vaccine, but you're forcing them to do that, to take goods to those who can't stay at home and work.
No, I mean that kind of goes with what Rob was saying. Rob was saying that these are truckers that aren't around people. They don't deliver to people door to door, like face to face or whatever. So it's like why are they being forced? And I mean that's a good argument. It's a valid argument. And Trent, like you said it's something that is trickling down to other areas throughout the world. Crystal, I'm interested to see what you think about this too.
What is the solution? I mean, we have a worldwide pandemic that has no end in sight. So what is the solution?
The solution is to listen to the people.
If you're going to say, okay, we're not going to mandate these vaccines, then what's the solution? Do we make these people sign a waiver that if they get sick, that they are refused treatment? Because right now hospitals are being overrun more so than they were even in the beginning of the pandemic. And you have people who can't, get treated. You have hospital beds not being available. So, if you're going to turn other sick people away because these people that aren't vaccinated, are overrunning the hospitals, then what is the solution?
Well, if I can respond to that real quick. If I can respond to that real quick.
Go ahead, Hugh.
I'd like to say, well, thank you, sir. That's a hell of a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have been a bigoted, racist piece of shit, but he's still, somebody that I'd like to be compared to. Anyway, to respond to Crystal, I think that the solution is to listen to the people. Like I said a minute ago, like there's a certain point. Number one, the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting the virus. It doesn't do that. There are almost as many people that have died from getting from that virus that got the vaccine as opposed to those that haven't. So getting the vaccine doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. I know there have been people that have been twice vaccinated, have like 2 booster shots in the original vaccine, that have still gotten sick and died. And what you're talking about, Crystal, is creating a different class of people, those that have the vaccine versus those that do not, and then competing for hospital care. So what you're telling me is if I go and get vaccinated and I get sick, I somehow get like what priority over top of those that haven't gotten vaccinated? You're creating another class of people. You're muddying the waters. What you need to do is just listen to the people. Whatever it is that they want is what they're deserved. What they deserve. Give it to them. If they don't want vaccine mandates, they want and I'm for vaccine. I'm vaccinated. Okay, I'm just anti-mandate. But what I'm saying is that there comes a point in time where following the science and that shit doesn't make sense anymore. Just if the people want to lift the mask, if the people want to get rid of the mandates, then give the people what they want.
Yeah.
Period.
And then what?
All right, look. I'll say this because I want to clear a couple things up, right? So you mentioned this amount the same, and correct me if I'm mishearing you, Rob, but you saying that the same amount of people who are getting who don't have the vaccine are getting sick, just the same amount of people that have gotten the vaccine and boosted or whatever. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry. What were you? I'm sorry. I missed that.
Oh Lord! He over there feeling on himself. You know what?
I missed that part. Say that again.
Hold on, because you went on your rant. You ain't like we ain't interrupt you this last time.
No, you asked me a question and I didn't have an answer. I'm asking you to repeat it.
Well, I just said it was rhetorical because I know the answer to the question. So it's a very small amount, very, 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 very small percentage of people who are vaccinated and boosted, whatever, who are going to the hospital and dying. Now, no one has ever said, right, that if you get vaccinated, you can't get the vaccine, you can't get COVID. Nobody has ever said that. That's a myth.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
That's not.
No that's one a lie. That's a lie.
Hold on.
Dr. Fauci has never said that. Hold on.
Joe Biden
no, because who said
Joe
it?
Biden said it.
No,
Has Dr. Fauci said it?
That's a lie. I'm telling you right now.
Has the White House said it
15 times. I've seen the clip 15 times of Joe Biden standing behind that podium saying that if you get vaccinated, you can't get the disease. I've seen it 1,000 times. As a matter of fact, as soon as this is over,
Joe Biden is also not
Ron, do what you do. As soon as this is over, I'm going to pull the clip for you, and I'm going to send it to Ron. And Ron, you put this on as a trailer afterwards. It's a lie. What you said is a lie.
No, okay. First of all, what did I just say? I said, did you ever hear Dr. Fauci? Look, pull the clip. If no. I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've never heard the White House come out and say that. Never heard the White House come out and say that. Now, Joe Biden said that. That's a whole nother thing. Whatever, blah blah. I didn't say that. I asked you, did you ever hear Dr. Listen to what I'm saying. Have you ever heard Dr. Fauci say that? Dr. Fauci is the chief medical advisor and the director of the National.
Nobody elect that clown. He's the high. Did you know that he's the highest paid civilian servant in the entire country?
Rob. It's a position that the president. It's a position that the president. Dude, come on, man, Rob. You know this is politics. Of course, nobody elected him, but the person that got elected put people in place who have the expertise. That's how politics work. Come on, man. Now you going all the way French, bro, because you know that's how it works. People, I'm sick and tired of people on the right saying nobody elected him, bro. Any president has the right to put somebody who is an expert in their field. That's the point. The Secretary of Transportation, he wasn't elected, but he's put on.
Secretary of Transportation is the reason why I ain't got no bananas on my shelf right now in my local supermarket. My supermarket looks like it needs a fucking supermarket.
So the reason you don't have bananas on your shelf, Rob, is because you've been chucking them shits at them pigeons that you got in your backyard. And you got them pigeons. You've been chucking them things, and you ran out. You still haven't gone to the grocery store yet. So let's be real. Let's be real. You just haven't gone to the grocery store after that, all that. Man, what else, Trent? We don't want to belabor this topic anymore, man, because it can go on all day.
We might have to make this the main topic because I ain't done. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Dave Chappelle, one of our favorite comedians. We've talked about him many a times. I think we all support him, whatever. But can you hear me? He lives in Yellow Springs, Ohio. That's where he's been living for a while, whatever.
Hi, I'm Dave Chappelle. I just want to say
hello.
And Marianne, I could talk to you about this privately.
Anyway,
I don't know why the village council would be afraid of litigation.
That's Dave Chappelle. That's Dave Chappelle talking.
Well, it's out a
Yeah,
$65 million
it
year
threw me
company.
off.
I cannot believe you
But
would make me
anyway, so
audition
he's just concerned
for
at
you.
a board meeting
You
or
look like
whatever about some kind of
clowns.
affordable
I
housing.
am not
Can't hear you,
popular.
Trent.
I will tell
Trent,
you
we
all
trying to let
those
Dave.
Days are coming around.
That's a
Trent.
Trent, Dave
we were
talking.
we were trying to let Dave. It was a portion of the segment that Dave was doing his speech, so it was playing.
Well, yeah, but you gotta let me finish.
Yeah.
You gotta let me finish introducing the topic, man. That's the point. I introduced
No.
the topic and then you play the video.
What I'm saying is,
Domestic.
that's something that we carry on outside of that. But yeah, it was playing. I was like, oh snap! So you got to keep. I just played. I figured you would have heard it, and yeah, we'll talk about it later. But anyway, go ahead, carry on what you were saying.
Anyway, so Dave Chappelle was at a board.
We
meeting.
rusty. We had a week off.
What?
I said we rusty. We had a week off.
I see. My goodness.
And your Wi-Fi terrible because everything delayed over there. We gotta wait like a whole 5 seconds for Trent to talk because his Wi-Fi in DC is so bad.
No, here's the problem. Here's the problem because I've been noticing on everybody else who's been talking, but you didn't mention that in the run through. So don't bring it up on the show if you don't bring it up in the run through. Okay, I'm tired. I'm tired of y'all doing that. Okay, if you was like, okay, we good. If we good, you know what I'm saying? Bring it up in the run through. Anyway, let me finish my.
How you bringing domestic problems to the air? Oh my gosh!
Okay.
This
Y'all need counseling.
you
Marriage counseling.
uncut.
We gonna go
still
see
love
a
you, bro.
counselor. We're gonna go see a
uncut,
counselor,
yes,
Trent.
girl.
I don't have time for this, Trent. Ton.
Oh,
You're not about to sit
No,
here.
no,
You're not about to sit here and
Trent.
put that on there.
Go ahead, brother.
but you also not gonna come on my Wi-Fi all the time.
Not.
Go ahead, brother.
I mean
What
that.
What was you saying? Ignore. Don't worry about Ron. What was you saying? Go ahead,
Don't
Trent.
know where we're.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Rob. Thank you. Anyway, y'all know what Dave Chappelle's asking about. Go ahead and play the video. Go ahead and play the video.
It's a dead subject, man.
So it's been played.
It's a dead subject. This
I
subject's
wanted to say
over.
about Dave, right? I wanted to say that I agree with Dave. I think that people thought that he was opposing affordable housing, but he really wasn't. So the housing just didn't align with the houses that they had there. So instead of them putting up duplex and townhomes, they went ahead and he went and spoke to the board, and they're putting up single family homes. He threatened to pull his plan for a comedy club in his town. So next subject, yeah.
There you go. Next subject.
So apparently, he stated that it wasn't even going to be affordable anyway. That's what he was actually stating. He's like, it's not going to be affordable enough. So what's the point of that? So anyway, next subject. Tisha Campbell. Apparently, stated that she's almost a victim of human trafficking in Texas. Apparently, she was shooting a film or a TV show or something like that down there, where she said that she noticed someone getting out of a car, coming near or whatever. She said she had researched, the signs of when human trafficking actually happens and how they take people, whatever. But of course, she got dragged all over the internet. People calling her, like I said, Tisha Smollett. They're like, she lying, blah blah blah. I don't see it as the same thing, but man, it's dude, she's getting dragged on Twitter.
I mean, they kind of look alike, so.
I'm like, did it happen though? It's kind of crazy in Mexico. It's a little scary getting in those little cabs, So I don't know. Maybe it did, but they don't have any record of her even being there. That's the part that give us the whole Smollett-ish vibe. So I don't know.
Didn't she come out and say that Martin had harassed her a long time ago, and that was the reason why they stopped doing the show? And it wasn't proven. I don't know.
That was proven.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Okay. I didn't know.
They had like some issues. Yeah, I think I heard something like that.
Yeah, that was that, but I think that was proven. That's why they ended it after 5 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, because that whole 5th season, they couldn't be on the set at all together. Like when he was on set, she couldn't be there. She had to wait until, so they had to do a lot of double taping or double recording to make sure that they, didn't cross each other or anything like that. So that 5th season was kind of just like, all right, we're gonna watch it after that. And they didn't reconcile. They didn't reconcile any of that. They didn't reconcile anything until maybe a couple of years ago.
I think when Tommy died, right?
Yes.
Delayed, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't trust Mexico. I don't fuck with Mexico.
Meanwhile,
at all.
That's where your bananas come from.
You're looking kind of, but go ahead.
You saying I look Mexican?
Oh, that's
like you got tequila in your cup.
That's messed up.
Say it with your chest, Miko.
Oh.
I say it always.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I say it with my chest. So go ahead.
Okay.
That's what he wanted you to do. See,
exactly. Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Trent.
Know it.
All right, we
feeding into his foolery. Yeah.
They about to have a Me Too movement on this damn show.
Well, like I said, if you go do it right. Do it with some style.
What?
Anyway, hey man, give it up for Trent around the horn. Trent, man, that was my bad. Hey, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna own up to it. Trent called me out. Yeah, I messed that up. I messed that segment up with that Dave Chappelle, man. My bad, Trent.
Hey, somebody write this down because
that's on me.
Actually admitted fault for something, man.
That's me. That's me. Hey, I said it earlier. I said it when you was talking.
Put it on the calendar.
Hey, man, forget both of y'all. Forget all y'all. I just own up to it. That's all. I mean, hey, look, I'm the one that do all this stuff behind the scenes. Yeah, I messed it up. My bad. Anyway, we move forward. And with that being said, I think Miko and Crystal have a secret admirer. And guess what? Y'all?
His name is Trent.
No. Guess what? Y'all won't believe where this person is located. Valentine's Day.
Here it goes. It says, I'm locked away in the Maryland State Penitentiary for 15 years. A few of us came across this show a few months ago in the library, and I became hooked to the vibes you all provide. I was not sure what happened to y'all when the show was paused, but glad to see y'all's are back. So I am interested in seeing if Chris or Miko would be willing to be my prison pen pal, as I like them both and would like to learn more from them. Especially Chris and her input on crypto. And no, I'm not no psycho or no killer. I'm in here for a white collar crime. Keep doing y'all's thing, and I look forward to y'all every week.
All I gotta say is keep your head up in there, bro.
Yeah.
I just want to hear what Miko and Crystal gotta say.
I mean, love and joy. I don't know.
So I'm not gonna be giving out my home address, but if you want to write to Crystal Clear Consulting, you're welcome to. I believe in uplifting, people and second chances and all that. So you can look up my business address and write to me there.
Is there anything, Miko? Do you?
I think I applaud you, Crystal, for go ahead and taking that charge and carry on. I think that's what's up. I appreciate that from the fine gentleman with the white collar crime, and there's no judgment here at all. But I'm okay. I'll keep my writings, and maybe Crystal can just send you a copy of my book on me. Yeah. I think that's classy enough.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
So funny. Traded for some
y'all about to get set up for conjugal visits. y'all keep messing up. Y'all keep messing with this man. Entertaining this man in his prison pen pal system, man.
I told him he could write to my company. I'm not saying I'm gonna be a pen pal,
He gonna be like, Shawty.
No, you gonna be a pen.
Yeah, you gonna Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't.
He gonna pull up in a Rob's costume.
But y'all don't think that? I mean, I don't believe that every person in jail, deserves to be there either. Like,
Well, he admitted to doing
he
it.
admitted
So he does
he
deserve to be there. He admitted it, so he does deserve. But it's no judgment. It's like, hey, you pay your debt to society and you keep it moving. But I mean, he's
how
hard.
long he deserves to be.
That's cool.
Who tapping that leg?
Not me.
Somebody was doing it, all of a sudden it stopped.
Yeah, you heard it, Rob? I was like, yo, somebody tapping their leg like crazy. Trent, do you have anything that you want to say about this confession letter?
Trent face.
No. I just want to say, hey, hope you get out soon, man. Keep, I mean, hey, we appreciate the support.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about this one.
Yeah, we appreciate the support.
Yeah, for sure.
What you got to?
I know what you got to say. You were shaking your head, and
I'm just telling y'all go ahead and write them if you want to. Go ahead and write them, or go ahead and send them information if you want to. All of a sudden, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear that. Soon as he get out, you gonna look out the peephole and be like, "Hey, motherfucker." He's like, "Yeah, how you doing? You remember me? You was writing these letters and he put out these letters out his pocket. Be like, yeah, you was writing me these letters. You know what I'm saying? And I just came here to see what's up."
Hey, Ron, you sound like you said.
He did a white collar crime. He got some jewels. Leave that man alone.
I mean, what if you want to learn more about crypto? I mean,
you got him, girl.
He in a library. He was in a library. He can read all the books about crypto right there.
There ain't no books about crypto.
Well, write one.
Yeah,
Google it.
You know what, Crystal? No, go ahead and send him your address.
I'm not sending him my address. I said it's to my company. That's not my address.
Yeah, but send some information on crypto.
Information.
That's how Wall Street Trapper found out about crypto. He was in jail. He learned all about it.
Yeah, man.
Well,
all right, man. More power to you. Okay. Everybody cheers it up to this. Cheers it up to that young man that's in prison that's out here crushing on Miko and Crystal. Yeah, man. Cheers it up to him. Hey, yo, look, check it out. Rough first segment, all because of me. I take the blame, you know what I'm saying? I messed up the stuff and then kind of just threw everything off. But we're going to come back after this commercial break from Recovery Athletics. And we're going to talk about something with Whoopi Goldberg, who has been in the news lately. And we were supposed to talk about this last week, but we had our technical difficulties on our end. But we're going to talk about it this week because it's going to make some people uncomfortable. But we got to have this conversation because it is something that is needed. And like I said, we'll be right back.
Have you been searching for a high-quality, high-functional, and in-style activewear brand? Well, look no further and head over to www.recoveryathletics.com. There you can shop both men's and women's active lifestyle wear, including sports bras, leggings, training tights, and tees. Support a fast-growing, Black, female-owned brand whose mission is to simply inspire others to maintain a healthy state of mind, body, and spirit by living a balanced and active lifestyle. Even better, RA is now offering 35% off to CBU listeners. All you have to do is use code RA35 at checkout, and you will receive 35% off your next order. Shop now.
All right, we back. So, talking about Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg made some comments about the Holocaust not too long ago, and she was ultimately suspended off The View. And essentially what she said was the Holocaust was not a racist event. That's summarizing, right? She said it's not a racist event, and people backlash, and, obviously, because once you start talking about Jewish people and the Holocaust, you got to be very particular about what you say, or cancel culture, or what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, wokeism will come out of nowhere, and then next thing you know, take you from your knees. So Whoopi Goldberg said that, and all of a sudden, she's quote-unquote canceled. But a lot of people have come out in defense of Whoopi Goldberg and said that they don't see anything wrong with what she said. Now, I'm going to open this question up to the panel and to the people that are watching and listening today and say, look, what are your thoughts? Was the Holocaust a racist event, or was it an event, as Whoopi Goldberg suggests, of inhumane acts of violence on humanity?
So I think it was both. I do think it was racism involved. Well, not, I guess racism. If you're looking at Jewish people as a race, I mean, we all know they are a race and a religion. I think religion played a big part in that too, and so you can't deny the fact that they were looked at as a different class of people due to their race and religion. I also think that, you have to look at the context of what Whoopi was saying and not just take one sentence out of her whole, speech and chastise her for that either. So I could see, both sides. I think it's very clear it was a racist event because of the things that Adolf Hitler said about the Jewish people. He basically was looking at them as a lower class of people. I granted they both have white skin and everything else, but he looked at them as being a lesser class of human because of their race. So you cannot deny that that was part of the Holocaust.
Yeah, they were marginalized because of their race, in terms of their skin tone and their lack of blue eye color. If they were dark hair and, you know, dark eyes, they were considered lesser than by Hitler. So I think what should have really occurred with Whoopi is they should have been allowed to talk about it. Like they should have talked about it on site and not just I watched it, went to commercial and, suspended her because that does not allow opportunity for retraining. How do you grow from something if someone uses the wrong terminology or, the wrong concept or thought process? How do you grow from it? Whoopi is an old school comedian. Like she just tell her how she feels and tell her how it is to her. And to be honest, I got what she was saying. She was not trying to say anything negative. I think that the way it came out and this new generation of like, oh, immediately clap back, cancel, woke. No, stay woke and listen. Like listen to where she's coming from and then help her understand how she should have said it or where it should have been. Jewish, I watched this podcast and was it our podcast? No. I watched this podcast and they were talking about was Jewish a race? And someone brought up that like my little cousin is like 1%, and I'm probably going to say it wrong. It's Asantiki. What is it called? It's that kind of Jewish that comes up on your 23andMe. And so in that aspect, it's a race. But in society, it's a religion. So I agree with someone who commented. The lines are definitely blurred. And I do not think Whoopi was trying to say something demeaning because clearly that was a horrific time in our history. Over 6 million, close to 11 million people were murdered just for the color of their eyes and the color of their hair and what they believed in. So, yeah.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think that, as far as Whoopi's comments are concerned, I just think that if you're not educated enough on a subject, especially her being her and her being on, being on a show and stuff like that, if you're not educated enough on the topic to know enough about what it is that you're speaking about when you open your mouth, then maybe you shouldn't open your mouth. I don't necessarily agree with the woke cancel culture, but I do believe that when you say ignorant shit, you deserve to be checked on it. And so if Whoopi did not understand, I don't believe that she's in a position to be given compassion, given the type of responses that she goes at with guests on her show. I mean, a Condoleezza Rice and there's been all sorts of people that have come on her show that she has gone absolutely balls out to try to silence and prove wrong and shit. So now that she's actually said something wrong, you think that we owe her some sort of compassion or some sort of sympathy. We don't. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, keep your mouth shut.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think the way she was looking at it in the lens of how we look at race and ethnicity in a modern stance, right? So if you look at if you're filling out a job application, right, and they ask you for your race on the thing, whatever, Jewish is not gonna pop up now. European Jews that's an ethnicity, that's not an actual race. So I think she was looking at it from the lens in a modern stance right? Now, I don't know what was, the actual terminology and how it was used back in the 1930s, but if she's talking about it in the current, how she, right now in modern society, whatever, she's looking at, people do not, when you go on the census, you know, Jewish is not underneath race, right? It's underneath an ethnicity or whatever. And so I think that's she was looking at a lens that way. And so in that case, I don't think she said anything wrong because I understand what she was saying. Now I think she like you said, Rob, she should be more educated because race and inferiority and lower class was mentioned back in the 30s with Hitler and the Third Reich and stuff like that. So I mean, I think she should have avoided going there. But I understand where she was trying to come from, right? Because if you look at it, again, it's not looked at in a modern society as a race; it's looked at as an ethnicity.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take an unpopular opinion, and I'm gonna say that I didn't see anything race. I don't see anything wrong with what she said, and the reason being is I'm gonna go back to 1500s. All right, Martin Luther in the 1500s said that he wanted to get rid of all the Jews. Right, and it wasn't seen as a racist thing. Nobody classifies it as a racist thing. It's more so of religion versus religion. So the fact of the matter is, we got one person, and it wasn't Adolf Hitler who started this attack on the Jews. So let's clear that up. It wasn't Adolf Hitler who started it. So when we look at the grand scheme of the things, when we talk about the European nations, when they get all got together, and you had some people that got together and said, hey, you know what, we got to attack the Jews because they're going to be the inferior race. That's what they call it, the inferior race. The Aryan race had to be the most dominant, but there's only one Aryan race, and it has to be this. Jews were a threat, and in that terms, yes, you could say, hey, this person they classified it and said that it isn't a racist thing. But my take is on that is we look at that now. You're getting into the social construct of things, right? And when you get into social construct, then you must say that everything is racist. The fact that we as a society believe boys or men should only wear blue, girls or women should only wear pink. And if they don't, if somebody comes out here, walks down the street and says, if I see a girl wearing blue, I'm going to take them off the face of the earth. Well, is that a racist event?
No, but that's two separate.
No. It's a social construct. That whole belief that you want a man or a boy to wear blue, and they should wear blue, or do whatever in blue, and girls should have anything in pink. That's a social construct. That's a belief that somebody had put out there that everybody started centering around. You get what I'm saying? So if that, by that nature, by what we're all talking about here, if we're sitting here saying just because a certain group of people said that, hey, Jews are classified as a race, and we got to take them out because they're inferior to us, is it really racist?
Yeah. It is really racist.
I think you're missing my point.
No, I'm not missing it.
I think you're missing my point, Crystal, because like I said, that's just like, okay, so Crystal, all right, you didn't take down your Christmas tree for the whole month of January and we'll be in February and 2 weeks in February.
It's down.
It's down now. But if I sat up here and said on this show, hey, if you still got your Christmas tree up, I hate you. You should be this and that, and then people start going out here and committing violence towards that. Is that racist? It's a social construct. It's a social construct. I brought. There's only one race, Crystal. There's only one race. That's the human race, right? So I've just created this social construct. I just created this social construct. I just created this. I just created a social construct, though. Go ahead, I'm listening.
You're gonna go there. That wipes away a lot of things in history.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to forget. So we're not gonna go there, because that. I wouldn't go there, but I see what you're saying. But you're taking it to the extreme. The fact of the matter is, they wanted these people destroyed just because of the way they looked. and who they were as a, born into society, and the fact of the matter is they wanted them gone because of the way they looked, and that has everything to do with race. I mean, the fact that they're Jewish.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I
It,
completely.
it, it was
I
it
disagree
was
with
it
that. I
was
think
no.
that if you go back,
they had a
Crystal, if you go back and you
distorted
take,
look at
I'm sorry, Trent, go ahead, man.
what I'm saying. Go ahead, Rob. I'll let you speak.
No, I was saying if you go back, you take a look at the biblical times when you had the Jews that were enslaved in Egypt. Back during those times, do you think that they gave a shit what the Jews looked like? They probably looked identical to the Egyptians.
Well,
I
that's
mean, when
what
they crucified
that's
Jesus Christ,
That's
when they
true, and I'm not saying that.
when they
but that,
crucified Jesus Christ, one of the things that Pontius Pilate actually what said that when it came for his trial, Pontius Pilate was actually heard testimony saying that Jesus Christ calls himself the King of the Jews. You know what I mean? So the Jews have been outcasts ever since they've been here. So I don't
and
think
Rob,
race or anything has anything to do with it. I think it's just because their tribe is who they are.
and
Well,
Rob,
I
that
mean, that
that
would
kind
be
of
the
goes back to my
case.
point, Rob, when I was talking about Martin Luther
Mhm.
and his beliefs back in the 1500s. That just because all of a sudden in the 1930s somebody comes out and says, "Hey, just because
Well,
these
that
people look different, like, is it really?" I mean, this has
No,
been
it's
going,
not.
and I'm gonna go back to how Muslims are treated, right? And I'm gonna say this because, like, y'all know that I did the study on this stuff. But Muslims, I mean, are we gonna sit here and say that it's racism when Muslims are treated a certain way? It's discrimination, yes, but is it racism? I don't know.
Well, are you
It's
going to say that when an African American is treated a certain way, or a black
Uh-oh.
person is treated a certain way?
yes, yes. Why wouldn't you?
So okay, I'm trying to understand the difference. Then these people were persecuted because of their race. I
They're
mean, granted,
white.
I agree that it had religion played a part and everything else played a part, but Hitler and other people themselves said that they were not a pure race, so they had to be destroyed.
Okay, like I
So
said, these
Okay, so I think what Don, what
these are one group of this is a group of people, a small group of people that said this. Nobody else saw this in the world but this group of people. And then all of a sudden, mass
and the Holocaust
inhumane violence occurred. That's what happened.
Okay, if a small group of people were saying that, you actually think the Holocaust would have happened? No, a large majority of people agreed with it and let it happen.
Crystal, I think
And
what Ron is trying to say is that racism is a construct.
it is a
Okay,
Yeah.
if
construct,
you go all
but
the
if
way
it
back,
applies,
if you go back far enough, the Jews have always been persecuted.
Thank you.
yeah.
Okay,
But
just like
if
the lost tribe of Judah has always been. What is it that Jesus said? My people will be called everything but who they are. Okay, so that's us.
I mean, I
But I'm getting a
agree.
little too deep. I'm getting a little too. But
No,
what I'm
no, man,
saying
go
is,
there, man, go there
nah,
with it.
nah. What I'm saying is that racism is a construct. It is, like Ron just said, it is a social construct. Adolf Hitler, like Ron just said, is not the first person to say that we're going to destroy the Jews. The Jews have been chased out of their homeland. It took them forever to find their homeland, and then they got you ever heard of the Crusades? The Crusades were fought between Muslims and Christianity, but guess
Yeah.
who else was there? The Jews. And so they're all fighting over the same home. You've got the Jews, you've got Christians, and you've got Muslims all fighting for the same place. But who
I
did
agree
God
that
promise that area to? He
I
promised the
agree
area to the Jews.
I agree that racism is a social construct. I'm not arguing against that, but I also believe that you cannot say that it's not a racist event if
Racism is made up. Racism is a
Yeah.
figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
Racism is something that was created recently. It
well,
hasn't
And that's
always
why
been. If
therefore
you
it's
go
and that's
back,
here.
why I
if
said
you go back
you gotta
far
go.
enough in human history, everybody looked damn near the same. The original black man comes
Talk the
from
same.
Africa. Everybody that fucking walks this planet is part of us. We made
I
you.
agree with that.
Doesn't
I am
matter
not
what you look
disagreeing
like
with
right
that.
now.
I'm not
Racism is
disagreeing with that.
okay.
I'm not
Okay.
disagreeing with
Okay.
that. I'm
Okay.
not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying that based on what we know today and how we define racism, that was a racist event.
No.
That's what I'm saying. And you can't say
But
that it's
Jews are not the
not.
only people that Adolf Hitler killed. He killed
Nope.
the
Right.
poor. He killed the disabled. He
Homosexuals,
killed
black,
blacks. He killed every damn body. If you didn't
Who
have
didn't
blonde
look
hair,
like
blue
homosexuals, no
eyes,
him?
matter what
Yeah.
color they were.
and the thing about it is Adolf Hitler was half Jewish.
Yeah.
So if we're going to use this one particular guy
Mm-hmm.
as the guidance of what as the moniker as to what racism is and what racism is not, what we're saying is that it goes deeper than that. It
No,
goes
I agree.
much
It does
deeper
go
than that.
deeper than that. Just like black slave owners had slaves that were
But
black.
to
But
understand
what?
social construct, to understand
But
this,
that
you
was
have to understand what a social construct is. It's an idea that has been created and accepted by the people in a society. So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
why we're saying it's made up. It's
That's why.
a social construct.
That's
It's
why I was.
who
Miko, I ain't mean to cut you off,
say
but
that.
Miko, that's why I
No, you
brought up
got
that
it.
example.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up the example about boys wearing blue and girls wearing pink.
Right.
Because if somebody went out there and started attacking somebody,
from birth.
somebody could come out and say, "Oh, it's a racist event."
But that wouldn't
Then
be
what?
racist because
Then
that's
what?
not. They're not born wearing blue or pink. It's not.
But
a
the
racist
idea is
event.
They aren't born
idea is
Jewish.
embedded.
Nobody's
Gender
born
reveal
Jewish.
is real. Like
Hey, I'm
blue or pink
interested to
means
see.
boy and girl.
Nobody's born Jewish.
Society.
Trent, what you
If
got
you
to
look
say,
at the
bro?
race of
Nobody's
or
born Jewish.
ethnicity of Jewish people, if you're born into a Jewish family, you are Jewish.
Nobody's born Jewish. You haven't
You don't
decided.
get
You
to
have the
choose.
option. Just like okay, so I was born to a Christian family. All of a sudden, I convert over to Catholicism. Then what?
I think you're mixing
Well, it's still
Jewish
Christian.
They were
as
born
an
into a Jewish.
But I mean,
ethnicity.
you get what I'm
born
saying.
into
You
a
get what I'm
Jewish
saying.
I know.
You get what I'm saying.
Go ahead,
They were
Trent.
born into a
Trent,
Jewish
say something,
ethnicity.
man.
Yeah, they were born into a Jewish ethnicity or whatever. So they were born that they were born. If you want to just like we were, born whatever some ethnicity, blah blah blah. They were born into a Jewish ethnicity. So they were born, yes. But what I was trying to go, I'm trying to get back to Whoopi Goldberg and what she said, right? And we're talking about social constructs and things like that. And what I'm saying is, if you're looking at it from the way we look at it currently now as a society, right? So we look at race and ethnicity or whatever as what you know, as a social contract as we look at it now, right? What she said, we got to get back to. She was trying to say that they're two separate things. The social constructs are two separate things. Is what she was trying to say. So that's why I said she didn't say anything wrong because if you're looking at it from how we look at it in society, not back then, but now, she's equating it how we look at race now, right? And so, and again, we've had this conversation where everybody wants to jump on the same movements and stuff like that, and it's totally different. And so I don't think she explained it correctly, right? But I think what she was trying to say is, it's two different movements and it's two different social constructs that we talked about. She's looking at it as how we look at race now. So getting back to Whoopi Goldberg, what she said, I don't think she said anything wrong because the way she was talking about it, right, is how we look at race now.
Well, I think the politically correct way we look at race, because Jewish people still consider themselves a racist people. I mean, a race of people. They consider themselves a race. They're not just a religion. I mean, granted, it's not on a checkbox when you fill out your, census form. But if you talk to a Jewish person, they're not just Jewish as a religion. If they're born into a Jewish family, if they have that ethnicity, then they are Jewish.
Well, I mean, it's
So I think
Judaism.
So when someone shoots a Jewish person, right, and then someone shoots a black person, right, they're shooting, and they say it's a hate crime, right? The way it's looked at now, right, it's like, all right, well, they're hating Jews because of the way they have been identified throughout history, right? It's different when someone is a hate crime shooting someone. They're looked at, they're shooting a black person as a hate crime as how they look, right? Not how they have been, seen through history. They're actually seeing this is the color or whatever. And I think that's where we're going with the whole social construct thing. It's they're 100% persecuted, but in a different way,
I
and it's
mean, I
not
get that.
the way
I
we
get
look at
that.
race now.
I get that, but they still consider themselves a race of people. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I agree with that. I think that it does fall more into the religious category, but I do think Jewish people look at themselves as a race of people. I mean, if that
You
is,
think
if
you
that,
think or you know.
That's probably a social conflict they built for themselves over the
I'm
years.
pretty sure I know that. I know Jewish people, and it's not just because of their religion that they consider themselves Jewish.
Hey, can
When
I
they say
address a
race,
comment? Can I address a
so
comment
when a
that you
Jewish
threw up
person
on the
says
screen real
race,
quick, Ron?
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted Elijah Bowser put up there a minute ago. I made a comment. I said that, and I was talking to you, Ron, when I said it, that Christianity and Catholicism are similar. And then he put a comment up on the screen saying that no, Catholicism and Christianity are very different. Yeah, so is baptism, and so is Lutheranism. A lot of different dialects of Christianity are very different. But yes, Catholicism is considered a sect or a part of Christianity. So I don't know if you needed to know that or not, bruh, or whatever, but I am Catholic, so I think I have an idea what I'm talking about. Ed, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Trent. I just wanted to address that very, very quickly.
Okay, clap back. All right.
So yeah, I don't know every Jewish person, but I do know some Jewish people that will consider themselves Jewish not just because of their religion, but because they were born into a Jewish family, and that they consider themselves a race. So I'm not denying or arguing that a lot of it is based in religion. I agree racism is a social construct. I agree with all that. I agree that we came from one person in Africa and that, we're all the human race, but I'm not going to downplay any racist events in history either,
so
any
from
of
what
them.
we just discussed, do you think Whoopi Goldberg said something wrong?
Well,
I
she
think
gave two different answers.
who, me?
That's a
Yeah,
perfect question, Trent. I like that.
yeah,
That's a good
Try to
question.
set her
Yeah.
up.
because you have to say because you gave two different answers earlier because you was
No, I
like,
didn't.
yes,
I
you did.
said I said if you take the whole context of what she was saying, I don't believe that she should have been persecuted the way that she was for saying that. Because I think she was trying to explain herself, but they took one sentence out of what she said and then basically chastised her for it. I think if you let her explain herself, and I agree that it is the waters are muddied on this topic because a lot of it is social construct. A lot of it is, what we've made it to be in this modern society. You don't see Jewish as a checkbox on the census for race. You don't see that. Hell,
You also don't see our.
as a Filipino person, we were considered Pacific Islander, and then they changed us to Asian. So a lot of us are confused of what we even are. So
Why?
I have
Why
a
are you
question
confused?
though.
Why do you let somebody else tell you what you are? Why do
no,
you
I'm just
give a
saying
shit what they think? You
it's
are what you are.
exactly, but it gets confusing when you
Nothing
change a whole
confuses me as to
identity
what
of
I
a
am.
people.
What?
I'm sorry, Miko. I didn't mean
No,
to cut you off.
no. It's cool. I was just wondering, like, um, that was a good question, Trent. But something else I was wondering, because if let's just say, I marry someone who's Jewish and I want to
I'm not Jewish.
become, am I marrying you? I didn't know. Pre Valentine's Day, okay. But
Good job, Rob.
and
He
you
just
marry
said he was
someone, and then
Catholic.
you have to go through this whole process to actually become a Jew. You have to go through this entire process to say, I want to identify as a Jewish individual. So I agree with someone who said the lines are blurred. But I'm wondering, Crystal, like, what does that make that person? Are they now considered a Black Jewish individual? Because then that can divide between race and
Religion.
religion, you know?
Guess
So I'm
what?
And
just, how does that work?
By Jewish standards, right?
Yeah,
Mother.
They still don't recognize a lot of Black Jews,
that's
right?
crazy,
Because
right?
and you know why they don't
I was
recognize it?
wondering.
It's because of their color,
Color
because
because
of
their
who they are.
race
Oh,
because their color.
okay.
Yeah,
Mic drop,
seriously.
well,
Trent.
then
Mic drop, Trent.
Ethiopian Jews
if you
Mic drop,
argue
Trent.
that,
are still
then
looked at
Jewish
as
is a race.
second class citizens in Israel, even though they are Jewish. They are born of an
Yeah.
ethnicity and a religion, but they're
Mhm.
still looked at as a second class and not really Jewish by Jewish people in Israel
But
Mhm.
because
you know
of
what?
the
There's a
color of
lot
their
of
skin.
religions like that, though, Trent. And I know you probably know this
Hmm.
already. But there's a lot of religions that are like that, like Black Mormons. Mormonism, they look at black people like Black Mormons look at black people like you committed a sin. Your previous life was so egregious that when you were reborn, God gave you black skin. That's what, and this is an abbreviation, but I know that to be semi-true. I spent a lot of time in Utah, but you know, like there's a lot of religions that look down on people who are black. But going back to what it is that you had, somebody had said before, what you have to go through to convert to the Jewish religion. Catholicism is no different. Do you have any idea how long the catechism is? Like the catechism is long as hell, and you better know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And they don't want to hear no interruptions or any stuttering or anything like that. And that's a sect of Christianity or a part of Christianity. So, you know, I know that, you know, Muslims have something similar. I'm not necessarily sure what it is, but there's a lot of religions that have certain requirements, and you know, your skin does play a little bit of a role in it. But as far as race is concerned, I mean, we all know what the deal is with the race. There's no reason in beating that dead horse, but you know.
I'm gonna take a page out of Dave Chappelle.
What I was trying to explain is because we, you know, again, we were talking about people identifying as Jewish, and what I explained is and we were talking about what Jews identify as a race, but then I was like, okay, well then, why do they not recognize Black Jews if they're Jewish? Why don't they just say they're Jewish and recognize them? So it's not beating it. It's not beating that. It's a legitimate right that needs to be talked about. If we're going to talk about, then why do they not? Even though a person is say an Ethiopian Jew, right? They go through everything that they're supposed to do to become Jewish, whatever. Why are they still not recognized as a full Jew? Why are they still recognized as second-class citizens in the Jewish Mecca? That's what I'm saying. So it's not beating a horse. That's a legitimate right.
Well, when I say looking at
race as a modern social construct that we're talking about, right? Then you can't equate it as the same thing. The way we look at it now, when you say Jewish people look at themselves as race, you know, maybe their definition of race is more of an ethnicity and religious perspective, not as how we look.
Aesthetically, right? Exactly.
You summed that up pretty good, man.
There's a lot of people who only look at, you know, white and black, and that's the only races. It doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. There's a lot of people.
That's how I see shit.
Hey, what you got your lipstick in your hand for?
About to go somewhere? What you about to put on your
I'm about to say, what you got your lipstick in your hand? Where you about to go?
I'm just using it.
Is it time to refresh?
Snap.
Hey, I just.
We gotta make up off.
You know?
I was like, what's going on? I was like, Krista got a lipstick, and she's like, forget this. I'm about to put my lipstick back on. I'm ready to go. Y'all about to piss me off. I'm late for my date. I understand, Krista. I understand. We're gonna move on with the topic. But let me say this. I'm gonna take a page out of Dave Chappelle book. When he said this during the closer, he said this, and I think it applies to a lot of things. And he was talking about LGBTQ+. When he said that people who identify they only use certain things until it's time to be white again, right? And when it comes to this topic, I think we're looking at this in a sense. I'm looking at this in a sense. It only applies until it's time to be white again. And when I made that comment earlier, I'm sorry, Trent, what'd you say?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just ad-libbing for you, bro.
Oh my man, me and Trent been off like me and Trent been off today. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix it. Trent, I owe you dinner, man. I owe you dinner, Trent. I owe you dinner. I owe you a McDonald's Happy Meal.
Church just saying amen.
No. Take Ron's ass to the Palm. Go to the pond. He gonna pay for dinner. Make him pay for dinner.
I told you we going to McDonald's to get that five for $5 Happy Meal, whatever it is. I don't know. Shit, I got you. Chicken nuggets. But no, what I was saying is only when it's time to be white again, it's like all the other stuff is thrown out. And so when we talk about this topic, right? Just because Whoopi Goldberg's not white, she's black, but she's Jewish, and she said those comments, everybody's like, oh, she's black. She shouldn't say that. And it's like, all right. Now, if she was a white person, what's her name? McCain, the girl that got kicked off The View. that was saying all kinds of stuff for years. Meghan McCain that said all kind of different things, outlandish things. She didn't get suspended until she got kicked off eventually. But, I mean, she said all kinds of stuff, and everybody's like, she didn't know. She apologized and everything like that. But it goes back to the saying of what Dave Chappelle says. Anyway, hey, man, this is a good topic, man. Look, we don't offend anybody, but this is comfortable being uncomfortable. So if you don't like what we talk about, you don't have to click on our face like Dave Chappelle said. All right, so with that being said, let's Doc say what a moment of the week. All right, so check it out, man. A sorority in, I think it was Southern Connecticut State University, suspended, white sorority, suspended for portraying and mocking black sororities, specifically, Rob. Check this out. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
What the fuck is that?
So, this sorority was kicked off campus for a time being.
Shit. What the? Yo, for real?
Essentially kicked off campus for their mocking of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and has faced a lot of backlash because of that. And you know, a lot of people are saying, a lot of people have come to their defense. A lot of people are saying, oh, they're having fun, they're doing this, they're doing that. Now, I've seen this, I can see this a whole different way, plenty of ways. Rob, you probably can too. But it's something special when it comes to mocking, you know, sororities and fraternities and stuff like that, and you don't belong. And that's an egregious act that they committed, right, in the culture of Greek life, all right? And a lot of people that are not, if you're watching and you're not part of the Greek life, you see people like purple alerts and stuff like that, people who wearing colors or nalia or anything like that, paraphernalia, and they did not pledge or anything like that. It's an egregious act. So this is why they were kicked off. But now I think one of the presidents from that sorority that was kicked off have come out and apologized. They're going to go to a hearing with the school board or the director or the dean of the school and some other members of the board to try to reinstate them. And they've publicly apologized to the chapter on campus, and the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated chapter has accepted their apology. And it kind of goes back to something I had said a long time ago when I was like, you know, why are we always, and I'm talking about us, why is it that it was like we're always supposed to just take an apology and say, all right, you know what, hey, it's all good. You know, y'all continue with your life. But, you know, this is something that somebody, because if that is something that they were doing, then there's no telling what else was going on. And I've been in the college life. I think everybody on here has been a part of college life. And they know things that go on in colleges, universities, or whatever. And they see different things that happen. And, you know, some things just don't get reported. So, open it up to the floor real quick. Let y'all talk about it.
Yeah. Don't they always apologize, though? Like, don't they always apologize for whiteface? Don't they always apologize for the old school N-word that sounds in a tweet? Don't they always apologize for stealing black creators' content? Like, let it be more than an apology. Like, what the fuck? Why we always gotta accept an apology? It needs to be more.
Black people be nice.
Like, yes, we are great. You know
Black
what?
people are too forgiving.
Who said that? Oh, Trent. Swear to God.
Black people are too forgiving.
Yes, we are always like, yes, oh yes, okay. We're taught to be kind and nice, right? You know the difference. We're taught to be kind. I'm gonna accept your apology. I'm gonna love on you, and nice. Okay, that's not a problem. We are taught to be that, but are they? And I'm not trying to get canceled with this shit, but you know, I've been drinking, but I've been sipping on tea, but I'm sick of it. It's a constant need to do some fucked up shit and then come back and say, hey, because of my privilege, I know I can get by. Let me just apologize and give you my white tears and say I'm sorry. Nah, sorry, we don't want that shit. That's my take. Sorry. Let me go back to sipping.
Look, I think we, when this type of foolishness happens, you know what I'm saying? I think we give it. I think the media does is we give it too much air, right, to function. Ignorant people are going to be ignorant people. Racist people are going to be racist people, right? And unless black people are willing to do what it really what you know what I'm saying, what you would really have to do in order for things to change. I think we just have to focus on building something, whatever, where we have more power and more say in everything that happens in this country. Because again, and look, I love white people. Okay, I ain't gonna say it, but white people go do white people things. Okay, it is
Yeah,
what it
I
is.
do too. I
You
love
know
white
what I'm
people. I
saying?
love all the
And it's
people.
always gonna be that way. But I think black people need to
Saying.
get, we need to buckle down and focus on what we need to do to build up our economy. Because we're too worried about what these crazy white people are doing.
But it's too many crabs in the barrel mentality within our own people, man, and that's what
Yep.
stops us from getting there.
And that's why I said we can't organize, bro.
Yeah.
We can't organize. That's our problem. If we
Yeah.
can't organize, this type of stuff is always gonna happen. They're always gonna be like, well, they can't get it together, so we can do whatever we want, get away with it because we white.
And let me say this. Let me say
Well,
this. It's not what you saw there was not considered racism. It's not considered racism, but it's an egregious act of disrespect when it comes to Greek life.
Right. By white
Is that
people.
yeah?
Right.
And when you talk about
So
NPHC,
Ron, can I say this?
go ahead.
My bad, Ron. Can I say this? I equate this as the same thing as I think it was a few years ago when these white fraternities were doing hip hop parties and they were wearing these very egregious outfits or whatever. Of how they assume, like pretty much it was making a mockery of what they, because
Yes.
obviously
Mhm.
black people invented hip hop. So what, let's make an egregious. That's how I look at it. And so it in a way it is it is a sort of playing out a racism in a safe way, right? Because that's
Mm-hmm.
like when they got in trouble for that, they were like, well, we're fans of hip hop and blah blah blah. But okay, my man,
Mm-hmm.
you wearing blackface and you wearing these gold chains with do rags and all this other stuff, making fun of black people and putting this on like a costume. I equate this as the same thing because they knew what they were doing. They knew that they were
Mm-hmm.
making fun of a specific black sorority. And so
Mm-hmm.
I equate it as safe racism, for them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey
So
Ron,
I oh,
oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, Crystal. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You know, I
Okay,
got two
Tattle.
things to say. I got two things to say. Number one, and this I'm talking to Ron. Ron, I take particular offense to what you just showed me on that screen. Okay, and as my sorority, as my sorors, my sisters, you know, as my sisters, we have a
Hold
certain
on.
way of dealing with things.
Let me go get
Okay,
my shit.
Mm.
we have a specific way of dealing with things, and so my particular concern is how does Zeta Phi Beta take it? If my sorors accepted their apology, then that's okay with this brother right here. I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody, but it's okay with this brother right here. But my second point is this, and my second point is that when it comes to us in general, black folks, what I would like to know is this: when are we going to start treating people like we get treated?
Well,
Okay,
we already
we're
got two
take
strikes, so
well,
you
yeah. I
know,
mean, when are we going to start? When are we going to start being confrontational? When we start treating people the way that we are treated. We are treated
Hmm.
a specific manner on traffic stops. We're treated a
Mm-hmm.
specific manner the way we walk into a store. We're treated a specific way when we, walk into a boardroom or a conference room or even walk up on stage for me. You're
Mm-hmm.
automatically, there are certain expectations that are expected of you. And we're treated a specific manner. We're prejudged. So my question is when you have an egregious act like this, and that's exactly what it was, an egregious act, okay? When you have a situation like this, can you imagine one of the Divine Nine doing something like this about a white sorority or a
oh
white
no,
fraternity?
oh
Could
no,
you imagine? Could you imagine the
oh
blowback
no.
that one of us in the Divine Nine would be treated like if we had did this to any of the other white frats or white sororities out there? Okay, I won't even say frats. I'll say fraternities because My frat is my frat. That's my frat right there. All right, but they are fraternity. Do you have any idea what would happen to us? No. What? Maybe we should start treating them. You know what? I want their fraternity suspended indefinitely off the campus.
I mean, I am agreeing with all of y'all. I think that they shouldn't be given any second chances. I think they knew what they were doing. As a white person myself, you know, we're not inherently racist. That's something we choose to be. And if you are doing shit like that, and
Huh?
You already over there, Ron?
What happened?
oh, I don't know what he's doing, but I'm like, we're not. I don't believe that we're inherently racist. I mean, I know I'm not inherently racist, but
I mean,
Trent,
there's some privilege too.
Trent stupid. Trent over like that. I hear him every time she say inherently racist. I'm gonna call that shit out because every time Crystal say inherently racist, Trent like,
well, okay, maybe y'all think differently, but I don't feel like
It's an
white
unconscious
people, all
bias.
white people are born racist. I think they choose to be that way. And if you choose to be that way, I don't think there's any second chances. I think you deserve every consequence you get.
Well, they're raised to be that way.
Well, yeah, you can be raised to be that way, but you still have your own independent thought.
That's how I feel about people who are Jewish. You know, like you might be brought into the family, like, oh, you got to be Jewish, and then when you get older, you can change your mind. Just saying. All right. No, it's not different. It's not different, Crystal. It's not different.
If you're looking at it like a religious thing, then I can see where you're coming from. But
It is religion.
At it like that.
I know a guy that I used to work with who grew up Jewish, but now he's Muslim. I don't know how that shit worked, but yeah.
Wow.
He converted.
But it's also
He converted.
it's also biological as well because again a Jewish person is only looked at being born Jewish if they're born of a Jewish mother, not a Jewish father.
Exactly. Thank you, Trent. That's what I was trying to say. That it's both. It's religion, but it's also they consider themselves a race. And I'm not saying that I completely agree with that statement. I'm just saying that's the way it is.
Yeah, I consider myself a giraffe. Does that mean that's what I am?
Man,
I mean, in today's society, yeah, you're a giraffe in today's society if that's what you consider.
You're wearing my colors there, Miko. So
am I?
we should get together on this pre-Valentine's Day and make some giraffe love.
I cannot.
Wait a minute.
I
Are you
cannot.
You know that
serious?
giraffes are the only mammals that don't have vocal cords? You're a giraffe.
How does
back
a
in
giraffe
the day.
sound? What?
They don't have vocal cords.
So am I a giraffe? Because I can talk.
Well, you make.
I'm a
really
unicorn.
sense.
I'm a unicorn. Sorry.
No.
Hey, I'm white, y'all.
I'm a unicorn.
Oh, Trent, you're definitely not white.
Like
Trent's a
basically,
lot of things, but white.
I'm Clayton Bigsby.
Hey,
I don't even know what
Rachel
I am.
Dolezal. Look. We could do a reverse. We could do a reverse.
Crystal said, I just can't get over the fact that every time Crystal said, she said, Trent was like, yeah, and she kept coming to me like, what, Ron? I was like, I'm just laughing at this dude.
Well, I didn't know who the hell was making noises, so I'm just like, okay.
All right, y'all, good topics, man. Like I said, it's gonna be comfortable, being uncomfortable. That's what we do, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, man. Hey, man, what y'all got for Super Bowl, man? I got Cincinnati winning, man.
I got the Rams.
Cincinnati.
Rams. Cincinnati.
Yeah, those are the Bengals, right? Yeah, I got them.
Yeah.
I like Matthew Stafford, man, because he's been in the league for 16 years, man. He's been putting in the works. That's why I'm going for the Rams.
They're
He's
good for the
been
stock
for
market.
15 years. He was with a garbage team, and so he's never been able to really show his, who he really is, man.
He pulled a LeBron on you. Okay, all right, yo, check it out.
I got the halftime show. That's what I'm here for. The halftime
Yeah, that's
show.
exactly Miko. Here for the halftime show. Definitely here for the halftime show.
show.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be like that.
Man.
It's gonna be like this show was the second half after I messed up the first half. Cause guess what? Check us out on Facebook at Comfortable 2 Uncomfortable That Talk, and make sure you hit us up on Comfortable 2 Uncomfortable That Talk on Instagram. Hey, next week, check it out, man. Adrian Amos is gonna be back in the studio with us next week, so check him out. And as always, y'all can check us out on Instagram. YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. That's it. Yeah, do that. Do that for me. I gotta go take out Trent. Trent, be ready, man, when I get there.
Okay.
Peace, love, and heaven. Yo.
Hey, you can buy me some of the Buzz Boys when we go see Miko.
There you go. Hey, I got you. I'm gonna buy all y'all drinks on Tuesday. I'm gonna buy all y'all drinks.
Oh my God.
Don't forget my event. Come through.
I'm gonna buy all y'all drinks. Crystal dipped out. She had to go. She's like, y'all pissed me off. I'm out.
Hey, Ron.